I just returned from the Minnesota State Panfish Championship at Chisago Lake, northeast of Minneapolis. Some of the best ice anglers in the country were on hand, trying to catch the biggest combined bag of 8 sunfish and 8 crappie. Watching these anglers tackle a lake is a lesson in efficiency. When the trap attacks started in the mid-'80s, Dave Gens offered the fish trap as a mobile alternative to hard houses. But these days, tournament anglers don't fish in portable shelters. Performance base layers and technical outerwear have replaced shacks, allowing anglers to move faster, fish more holes, and catch more fish. I asked Tad Westerman, who won this event in 2019 with Lawrence Luma, what other gear has changed since he started fishing tournaments.
All right, so since I started my first competitive ice tournament, it'd be 7 years ago now, and I fished a local lake, Pelican Lake, right in St. Michael. NAIFC was a circuit I had never heard of. It's a North American ice fishing circuit. They were coming to town, and I decided it was a home lake, and I wanted to go learn something different. And actually, I think that was your first one too. No? Okay. Fifth one. Wow. Anyway, so when I went out there in a rain suit. And I had 3 spinning reels with spring bobbers that you inserted into the front eyelet, and that was the only way I could catch panfish. But since joining and being a part of the NAIFC and competitive fishing in general, I was able to learn from some of those guys by going away from a spinning reel into a schoolie plastic inline style reel, and the benefits to that, and then changing away from a spring bobber, kind of going to a noodle rod, and going from a noodle rod now to a tight lining rod. And what that means is a noodle rod is a rod with a sensitive tip that you can watch the bites, either a negative or a positive bite with the tip of the rod. And now going to a tight lining rod, those negative and positive bites are read through watching your line down in the hole. So that's one of the major things that have changed in tournament fishing since I've been around. And there's a lot of guys that have been around a lot longer, but that's the guys that have given those information. And that style of fishing towards me and to you, they've passed on a lot of that style. The other major change in fishing nowadays is the size of the lures we use. Before, I never thought they made anything smaller than a 5mm. And you'd go to the gas station, you could see those jigs hanging up on the wall at any bait shop, and they're all huge compared to what we use nowadays. And a lot of people think you can't catch quality fish on a small jig because the crappie's got such a big mouth and a gill's got such a big mouth. But going to a finesse style presentation and down to a 3mm and a 2mm size jig can really blow your mind as to production wise what comes up that hole. And learning how to operate that jig and control that jig is why we use a tight lining rod and a lighter line. The other thing that's changed for me was the size of the line diameter. I never used to pay attention to line diameter, and now I pay attention to that more than I care about the pound test. Whatever I can get away with to sort of float my jig in the water when I'm tight lining is what I do. I used to start with 6-pound test because that's what I used for walleyes. They were walleye rods. I used them all year round. Same line, summer line, winter line. That's another topic. The line has gotten so much better. It repels ice, keeps the moisture away from the rods, keeps it away from your eyelets from freezing up because we fish outside every day, all day. So having that not freeze up on your eyelets allows you the opportunity to catch a lot more fish.
Luma added that electronics have also had a major impact on how and where he and Westerman fish.
So when we first started tournaments, one of the biggest things that you notice that using your Vexilars, your Markhams, whatever you want to use at that point is to go through expansive areas where we find these panfish. A lot of these guys were adding electronics to buckets, and one of the things that we do is we use a ram mount, or there's the ice hole hopper bucket. And what we did is we took the Vexilars. What we do is we expand an area, like I say, a football field area, drill out these areas, and then take those buckets, and we'd be able to go the hole to find big schools of fish and vice versa. Well, now, especially now in this last 2 to 3 years, is the Garmin Panoptics came out. And what that Garmin's Panoptics do is it's allowed us to go back to take our Vexilars, put them on our regular things, but now we can pinpoint areas in that same football field, say area, and we can pinpoint where these locations of these fish are. So I would say now in the biggest 2 to 3 years, Panoptics and specifically live scope now has changed the way we fish and the way we attack fish in these areas. Now it's really cool because you can actually specifically attack one fish, two fish, but you can also even attack weed beds, find weeds, find fish where are weeds, and then, you know, follow through with your off-beam camera and drop that down and see what type of fish they are and if they're big enough. Now, even with the adventure of the live scope, you can also tell the fish size also. Those are the biggest things that we've seen electronic-wise.
You know, the other thing electronic-wise is the batteries.
Yeah?
You know, going from the lead-acid batteries, the heavy 6 to 7 pound batteries, and going to these new lithium-style batteries, we run amp batteries, amped outdoor batteries, and you can get a 6 amp battery that will run a Vexlar flasher style battery or flasher style screen for up to 30 hours in a 6 amp battery. Now that 6 amp battery only weighs like 1.4 pounds, so that gives us the versatility of bouncing around a lot faster and not getting big old Popeye arms from lifting up a giant weight. So with that, you get to move a lot faster, and you're getting longer run time. So there's kind of benefits to that too. That's changed quite a bit in the last year almost.
I mean, with
maybe a little bit more.
With the Panoptics and the live scope, we're getting full days with the 18 amp batteries now
Right.
also.
And before with the lead acid battery, I think guys were getting 4 hours. So if you're going to be out for a full day, having that change is a big benefit in everyone's arsenal nowadays too. So.
Yep.
None of the teams that I watch could be accused of being lazy, but covering water in the wrong area doesn't win tournaments, especially when competing against a field of talented anglers. Finding the best spots during the pre-fishing period is key. Nebraska anglers Zach Nadowski and Jim Hesse were at a geographic disadvantage, forcing them to optimize their limited time on the ice before the event. They won the tournament, so their plan obviously worked. I asked Nadowski to walk through their approach of quickly finding the best spots.
So yeah, pre-fishing on day one when we show up to a lake, we try to find specific spots on the lake that are going to hold fish. So it could be inside turns, parts of the basin, mud flats, sand bottoms. After day one, we get back to the hotel, we look at camera footage of what we saw, and we look at our maps and try to find those exact spots or same spots that are similar to look at. And then day two, when we go back out, we go to the lake, and that's kind of what we look for. We check those other inside turns, outside turns, if there's a saddle, anything that we think, you know, might be holding fish, that's what we're going to check on day two. And that kind of solidifies our plan for where we're going to start the tournament.
Even with a solid game plan, things often change on tournament day. Many teams said during the weigh-in that the fishing had been exceptional before the event, but that the fish were scattered and less active on Sunday. Hesse described his approach for staying on fish, the right fish, during the entire 5-hour fishing window.
So when we're fishing a tournament on Chisago, we generally will not linger in an area for very long unless we're getting the results we want. We generally have an idea of the fish that we want in our bag, and if those aren't coming to us, we'll drill more holes, we'll jump into them. This weekend, for instance, it seemed like when we drilled holes, it kind of spooked the crappies away because they were suspended up. We would drill a grid of holes ahead of us, we would jump through them, and if we didn't get what we wanted, we either turned around and went back the other way in the other direction, or we made a big jump. We didn't just make 10-foot jumps all day. We covered water, and we just assumed that some of the stuff we were jumping over probably wasn't good because the stuff that butted into it wasn't good.
Luma and Westerman spent most of Saturday helping with a kids' ice fishing event. Luma had just enough time to try one spot before pre-fishing ended. He caught a nice green sunfish and posted a photo on Facebook. A bit later, Nadowski and Hesse sent an image of a fish they captured on their underwater camera. Check out the bump on the bottom of the base of the tail. Same fish? Sure looks like it to us. If you've never been on the ice during a competitive ice fishing tournament, we really recommend you check one out. Give the anglers plenty of room, but pay attention to how they fish. Watch how quickly they move and how they survey large chunks of ice. Adopting a few of their tactics is a guaranteed way to help you catch more and bigger fish and have more fun on the ice.